Alright, so I'm going to move from a lighter topic to a slightly more serious topic. And my aim is actually to get you depressed by the end of this. So if you feel depressed, that's an achievement. So the tiger is actually one of my favorite animals, and I want to talk to you about a fake conservation movement called tiger farms. But before I tell you that, I need to give you a little bit of context about them. So the one thing that you need to know about tigers is that they're the biggest cat
and she swirled it around, twisted it, and killed it by the breaking grip to the back of the neck.
Muted.
That's amazing.
Do you think that was...
Right, so that is India's most famous tigress, and she's killing a crocodile. That crocodile, ladies and gentlemen, is dead. Tigers can do that. They're the biggest cats on the face of the earth. The one thing that you need to know about tigers' behavior, however, is that they're very solitary. They cannot tolerate the presence of any other tiger. So when they get in touch with each other, they start fighting. They're very, very territorial. That's again real. Happens all the time in the wild. The third thing you need to know about tigers is that they're expert predators. They're very efficient with hunting. Now you're going to see the sequence. This girl, she's stalking the deer there. And you take a look at how quick that kill is. Less than 20 seconds for the kill. One bite to the trachea, and the prey is dead. As efficient a killing machine as it gets. Alright, so here's the fact. The fact is, in the last 70 years, 3 of the subspecies of tigers have gone extinct. In the world today, guess how many tigers we are left with? 3,200. In the whole world. Right? And 1,706 are in India. And the reason is that. The reason is that because people love wearing tiger skins. Right? And that's why they reduce tigers to that. Okay? And of course, there's a huge demand for tiger-based medicine. Friends from China, you might know that. Tiger bone wine. Tigers get converted into that. Alright, I told you I wanted to get you depressed. This is what people will do to tigers for that kind of thing. Right? That's what happens. This is from Sundarbans. That's how you skin a tiger. That's a wild Sumatran tiger being skinned. And of course, tiger bone wine, you feel really proud about it. So that's a tiger skeleton in the vat. Right, so somebody came up with this brilliant idea. Tigers are dying, so let's go ahead and create a gene pool, let's put them in farms, and let's farm tigers. Right? Let's create lots and lots of tigers so that tigers never go extinct. So they have these tiger farms where you have hundreds and hundreds of tigers. But what's the one thing I told you about tigers? They're solitary. So when you have one tiger, that tiger needs at least 10 to 80 square kilometers of forest. So by preserving the tiger, you don't just preserve the tiger, but you also preserve several subspecies, right? That's the reason why you want to preserve a tiger, not because you want numbers of tigers. Those are all my photographs, by the way, and the tiger behind me is also a wild tiger. So you understand the difference between a tiger on a farm, like that, and a wild tiger. This is how tigers in farms are kept, right? It's almost like a chicken farm. That's how you treat an animal of that nature. Anyways, if that isn't bad enough, you scare the animal, you scare it into submission, and make it do those kind of circus acts, right? So when you go into a tiger farm, and you want to see the animals, that's how you'll see them. Being whipped, and being made to do those kind of things. What was the third thing I told you about tigers as predators?
Very efficient.
They're very efficient. They know how to kill, right? Because they've been trained by their mothers, right? But what they do in these tiger farms are killing shows. So they'll tie a cow, and they'll put an inefficient, untrained tiger, who's never learned to kill in the wild, to kill this hapless cow. People pay money to see this. Right? People pay money to see this. Then you drug the tiger, you break its teeth. Look at this tiger, it doesn't have a tooth. You break its teeth, you drug it, you sedate it, you chain it. See that guy is chained. And then you make tourists pay to come and pat the tiger. So the tourists can say, oh, I touched a tiger. Right? Because you can't touch a tiger in the wild. Then you treat tigers like chickens, you hand feed them. Right? You hand feed them like that. So that tourists can come and hand feed the tigers. Oh, I fed a tiger. Right? I fed a tiger. And what happens is tigers are not used to hand feeding, so they don't eat much. There's a law against killing tigers, but there is no law against tigers dying. So they starve tigers to death. They starve tigers to death and make them die. right? This is all to fuel our greed. Fuel our greed so that you can take the tiger skins and sell them in the market, and you can take their bones and put them in a vat and create tiger bone wine. So guys, the reason I'm making this presentation to you is because I don't have this opportunity to make this presentation to a multicultural audience, right? There are friends from China, there are some few from other countries. I think you have a voice, right? Especially you guys, right? I believe change happens in the West, but change can be sustained only in the East. So I implore you, use your social media channels, use your friends. I mean, I can only beg of you to make that voice heard. Before you make that voice heard, you might want to learn a little bit about the problem yourself. Don't just believe what I say. There's this website called The Truth About Tigers. It's got a free downloadable movie, which you can distribute, broadcast, do whatever with. Watch the movie. You'll get to know about the real state of tigers. You want to contribute towards conservation? Don't support tiger farms. Don't go to a place in Thailand where they allow you to pet tigers. Contribute to Panthera. Contribute to some other fund. Wildlife tourism is a great way to support tigers, because then you stop people from poaching. And again, that's a photograph I took on my trip. Everyone can shoot a tiger, right? You don't need a gun. You can use a camera and everyone can shoot the same tiger. The tiger is a very resilient species. You don't need to do too much to conserve it. You don't need to create farms to conserve it. All you need to do is keep it away from human greed. And if we couldn't save this one animal, this one charismatic species, I'm pretty sure that the next generation is going to look at us in a very, very bad manner. We couldn't save an animal that's so easy to save. So again, my appeal, just make your voice heard. Thanks.
Where is the wildlife